What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Alex G alongside Malin. This is the A Couple of Things podcast where we're here to talk about a couple of things. Let's talk about how a lot of these influencers are prostitutes.
Oh, yeah.
That's rather aggressive, but yeah, it's because we know the whole Diddy thing happened. And I know we didn't really talk about it on the podcast, and I think part of the reason for that is because I think it's so deep. Like I feel like we would have to do like a full 3 hours on just the whole concept of the entertainment industry
Yeah.
because it's crazy. But I wanted to focus on like the women influencer kind of culture a little bit because I know a lot of people were shocked to see Young Miami, and this is all alleged, so we don't know any of these things to necessarily be true. But I saw Young Miami was listed as one of the people in the Diddy case, and then also there was I think 50 Cent's one is 50 Cent's baby mothers. If he, I don't know if he has multiple, but at least one of them
Yeah.
was listed in this suit as well as being a sex worker.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people were shocked about that, but
Don't know why.
I don't know why. And it's not like a indictment on them as people specifically, but it's just like I don't know how people think influencers get money, but just having followers doesn't get you paid.
Yeah.
So if you're not selling a product, which they all end up trying to do, if you're not
Which is interesting. 'Cause I wonder why they try to do it. Do they do it to muddy the waters, or do they do it just to have something that's considered legit,
yeah, it's probably like something.
or just extra money?
It's probably something to convert outside that lifestyle. Like their
Yeah.
introduction is doing the sex work. And let me say first and foremost, no, like I'm not one of those people that like judges that kind of stuff in that way.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what people do. So this is not going to be a criticism of sex work itself, because get your money as long as you're not harming anybody. Then I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't particularly care what anybody does, and I'm also not going to judge. Get your money.
Yeah.
But I want to mostly just talk about how everybody's shocked that so many of the models and social media influencers are sex workers. Really,
Yeah.
like the Instagram is the advertisement page, and then the DMs is where you could put in your offers.
Yeah.
Like if you're not selling a product, there's no other way. Like you're not getting paid on social media like that. Like they don't have YouTube channels. They're not getting paid off that. They don't stream. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people are so shocked that that's what they do. Because what else would you have expected them to do
Yeah.
to get money? So it just doesn't really. It doesn't really make sense to me how people are confused. But yeah, I guess maybe the shock of seeing Young Miami up there, but
Like,
you
what do
know,
people think that was, though?
I don't know.
Well, when people are slow, they thought that was a real relationship. Like, aw, they're in a relationship. Aw, so cute. I was like,
Nah.
do you guys not listen to her music? Like, she already told people who she is in her
Yeah,
music.
I think people don't pay attention to lyrics.
Yeah. Or they think that they're just chatting.
Like when they're messing with scammers and do all, because that's the funny thing about it is that a lot of the women rap, and men's rap is too,
Yeah.
but a lot of the women rap specifically is about getting money off of a
Yeah.
man.
Scamming a rich N.
Yeah, like that's
That's like their whole lyrics.
is the money thing. So if somebody's whole focus is getting money, then what makes you think that they wouldn't do that for money?
Yeah.
So it was just confusing to me. I saw a few people being like shocked by it, but it's not shocking.
It's not. And like I think people, like you said, they will be real surprised to know like all their favorite influencers that they love so much. A lot of them, that's what
A
they're
lot of
doing.
them.
Like you said, their Instagram is the equivalent to standing on the street.
Yeah,
It's like they're promoting themselves. Like, why do you think every picture they're showing their body? Like, come on.
yeah, that's the whole
Every
point.
picture their butt is showing.
Every picture
they're
they turn
turning.
around.
Yeah, like
There's a reason for
it's
that.
crazy.
Because there's no other way to get money. There's literally no other way. Nobody's paying you. Instagram's not paying you because you have 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. And if you're
For
not
me-
working if you're not working a regular job and you're not selling products online, then where else would you be getting enough money, especially enough money to afford the things that they afford? Because like, there was somebody talking about that, where like they were into. I don't know if it was Starlet specifically, but they were saying how, and this was a famous entertainer, but they were like, you go into the strip club and you see the bartender has on $100,000 watch.
Yeah.
It's like the bartender
Like,
at the
come
strip
on.
club is not getting $100,000 watch from bartending.
Like, come on.
So again, no judgment, but people should just be more aware, I guess. Like it's
Yeah,
not.
because that's the thing. Like, fine, live your life the way you want to live. But I think the issue is when people are looking up to those people and they're thinking that it's attainable by not doing those things, and then they're so shocked when they find out that's how they got it. Like, that's why, like, just don't look up to these people.
Yeah.
Like, look up to yourself. Like, do your research on how to make money. That's why it's kind of funny, because like you see tweets where it's almost like people are saying that people like me are apparently like a lost art. I'm like, what? Like, I thought that was normal. Like, women with regular careers. How are we a lost art? I feel like we're the average. So I'm confused. Are we? Am I a lost art? Like, a legitimate career, not trying to scam, not trying to do the sex route, like just literally education and being an accountant. I mean, yeah, I would say being an accountant, a Black woman accountant is probably rare, but
yeah,
it's kind of sad that people are trying to act like us women who have like, I don't want to call it legitimate careers, but like the traditional careers, it's considered a lost art. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I would put that out there and say that it's a lost art, because of course there's a lot of women, and still most women, that are in, like you said, like traditional careers.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put that out there, but I do think that there's definitely like a super increase in the rise of women that are exploring that path, because they can see how much money can be made.
And I feel like we're seeing an influx of younger people into it too. Like, I feel like a lot of like everybody's, I can't wait to turn 18. I can't wait to turn 18. And the second they turn 18, there's the OnlyFans link. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Scary.
But yeah, it's scary, because like I reiterated my whole stance on the sex work thing. I have no problem with it if that's what people really legitimately want to do. I just wouldn't want people to be taken advantage of, or not really wanting to be in sex work, because there's some that are like really like,
they really about that life. They were doing it before there was even any money attached to it.
Yeah. So for them, they probably don't care as much, if at all. But
some people, they're just doing it because they want to get the money, and then those same people end up going through depression, drug addicts later on in life.
You see this with a lot of famous porn stars. I don't know her current status, but Emily Willis.
The one that died?
She died?
No, man. I can't. I don't know.
No, I don't know if she died yet, but she was hospitalized.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's her.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just saw like lately 2 different names that appeared of women that.
Yeah, and then one did die. But so okay. So 2 days ago, they said she woke up from a vegetative coma.
Dang, vegetative is crazy.
Yeah, which is crazy. And so like you see in that industry, people, that's the result of somebody getting taken advantage of, or feeling like financially.
Yeah, they had no choice.
So that kind of stuff I don't like, and I don't want the popularity of that to increase as an option.
I feel like people are just lazy though, because it's like there was always negative influences growing up, right? Like, obviously I would say now is more than ever because of social media, and we didn't really grow up with social media as much. Like, we grew up with it, but we kind of grew up with it, if that makes sense. Like, it growing, we grew simultaneously with it. But now it's like full-fledged, right? And people are literally growing up, absorbing everything. But we had, those influences existed for us.
They did.
Like, porn stars were still a thing. Like, it wasn't OnlyFans, but people were porn stars. That was definitely like a thing to do. I feel like our biggest influence was the YouTuber thing, right? Everybody wanted to be a YouTuber, but that still existed. Being a stripper still existed. Like, we grew up watching Blac Chyna and seeing how she was able to be a stripper and turn into a rapper's baby mama. So that influence was there, but we still decided to do it the right routes.
It was there, but like, you can't compare that.
Yeah, no, now
it's different. You just see Joe Blow, and then now they're a multimillionaire off of OnlyFans. Like, think about what I think. What was Ben Adon when he was on Yachty's podcast? He said just even managing the girls, I think he said he was making $30K a week.
Damn.
Like, that's unheard of type money, and you can see how just in 1 second people's whole life can switch.
My whole thing is, the money is great, but for me, it's not that serious to be doing that. Everybody to each their own, but I just could never imagine myself doing that. Like, I don't know. Like, unless, like you said, someone's really into that, and that's like a desire for them. They've been doing it before there was money. For me, there's so many other options to take before going that route, and I feel like so many people default to that route. And for me, that work is not. There's no longevity in it. So if you're not making the right money making decisions, the right investing decisions, what are you gonna do when you're in your mid to late 30s, 40s, when you start, you're aging out, right? What's the plan then? To use the money that you saved up in all those years of your 20s working?
You could.
Yeah, if you make the right decisions. But I don't think a lot of people make the right decisions. I think they spend their money stupidly. I don't think they invest it. I don't think they save it. And then that's why they become depressed, because it's like, now what? You can't even go get a job, right? Because now, like, your background check is going to come back crazy. So,
yeah.
And you didn't make any real efforts to have any other, like, forms of stability, any other degrees, any other certification. They didn't really make those choices to do those things.
Yeah, most people don't do that. But I saw, I don't know what show she was doing, but Abella Danger, I don't know if you're familiar.
I heard the name.
Like, probably one of the most popular of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But she's young. Like, she's like around our age. She's in school now. But the amount of money that she would have made is like a ton. Like, she would have had to have made tens of millions of dollars at this point.
And the thing is, you could have crazy backgrounds and still go to school and still get jobs, because it's like people are becoming more lax about like background checks and like what you've done in your past, but still.
Yeah. But anyway, to get back to the specific like social media thing, yeah, it's just people don't be confused and don't be shocked. But like, I know people like aesthetics and are like, oh, I like the way this person dresses and their life seems cool, but don't be shocked about that being a reality, especially when it comes to that line of work. Like, even when it comes to modeling and stuff like that, modeling doesn't really pay like that. So people got to make money one way or another. So people should just not be as shocked to hear about certain entertainers or people out here that we see that are popular doing sex work for money. And that goes for both men and women. So it's not, because I've seen and heard some rumblings about even that from like a male perspective, like the men, because there's a concept of having a name with no money. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people with a name but no money. Like, just because you're popular and well known doesn't mean anything. That's why like people will be shocked to see that certain rappers or certain people don't pay their bills because they got the name but they don't have any way to really monetize it. So like, don't be shocked when the men or women maybe they got their money and it was like only 2 years where they were getting money, and then they start doing something else to try to get money. Like, that's what Fetty Wap is like locked up for now, because he had all that money and then he started, I don't know what he was doing. Like, he said he was spending it, whatever, but then he gets locked up for selling drugs. Yeah, because he didn't want
all those hits.
Because he didn't want to fall off monetarily when his music fell off.
You got to keep up with that lifestyle that you're used to and that you've been presenting.
Yeah, and that's typically like the male version of like prostitution. Yeah. But I've also heard rumblings about that kind of stuff. But even in the entertainment industry, where men getting paid to do like sex acts.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
But
with other men probably.
Yeah.
Or with maybe other women that other men want to watch. Probably could be a whole bunch of stuff.
It probably gets insane. I don't even want to know. But
yeah, like, even that reminds me, even Karrueche, I don't know if you're not really on Twitter, but she's been posting feet pics and posting OnlyFans links, and I'm like, dang. But it's like, she's one of those. You're getting older. You're like, your relevancy is kind of dying. The thing that you were probably getting money off of doesn't exist. One of her main money makers, which is being associated with famous people, right? Chris Brown, Victor Cruz. Those relationships, I don't think she's with Victor Cruz anymore, right? I'm not sure. So it's like, now what? And it's like, that's why, like, for me, if I had to pick a life and a route to go down, like, if I were going to be the route that they go down, like, maximize it. Make sure you're investing all that. But there's, like, a sense of security, I feel, living the lifestyle that we live. That is unbeatable, in my opinion.
Yeah, and this would, because you brought up that point, like, that's the other part. There's, like, a lot of popular women that are popular on the internet.
Yeah.
And a lot of their claim to fame is by being associated with somebody else, and I think that's always a dangerous kind of place to be in.
Yeah,
and it's on both sides, right? Because the more popular argument that people would bring up would be Safari and Nicki,
yeah,
or just any point when one person is just vastly financially above the other person.
Yeah,
the person that's below, like, that's such a tough spot to be in, because you're not making any money. Like, you're just around. So they're paying for all your stuff.
Yeah.
They're paying for your lifestyle. And if they were to ever disappear, then that would be it. Like, your whole money is gone. Because I did see the Karrueche thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, what if you're not tied to the money anymore, how else do you expect people to make money, right?
Yeah.
Like, and no disrespect to Caresha, Young Miami. but her music isn't selling to the
At
point
all.
where she can afford the lifestyle of the men that she's around.
Yeah.
So there would be no other way to upkeep that
Except
with her music.
Yeah.
Because yeah, she's popular. They have a crazy name and they have super hits.
Yeah.
But those hits don't last forever.
That's why, like, even probably JT and Uzi, right? Like, maybe that's why we don't know what the relationship looks like, right? But maybe that's why JT might still be sticking around as long as she has. So we don't know. There's been rumors about him cheating and stuff, but a woman's gonna more likely stick around with a man like that who they feel is literally maintaining the lifestyle that they want.
Right. The buy me this, buy me these bags,
Yeah.
like that whole culture. Because the men's version of that typically is tricking. So I got my whole bag is I got a lot of money and I could purchase women basically through material or just money. And women is I could get men to purchase things for me, which that whole type of rap is prostitution.
Yeah.
Which again, no judgment.
They're glorifying it. They're just singing in a nicer way.
Yeah, no judgment, but that's what the music is. And I think people get confused when they're saying like when they're saying these things. I think women, like the consumers, and why they're probably confused is that they think that they're saying that their man, their boyfriend, their husband has to buy them things. And it's like, nah, they just want anybody that could give them that lifestyle. Anybody that could put them in a Ferrari, a G-Wagon, buy them bags, give them money. They're saying that for anybody in general. Like they will give it up for any of those kind of things. And it doesn't have to, and the women that are rapping that, they're not saying it has to be your boyfriend, it has to be your husband that is doing these things for you. They're saying anybody that does it. So it's like promotion rap. Prostitution rap.
Yeah.
But people should, I don't know. Maybe people don't listen to lyrics. Maybe
I don't think people
listen
to lyrics.
I don't know.
And I don't think people really have, like, because we understand money, right? Because first of all, like, we make it, right? Like we're in business. But I don't think a lot, especially young people, I don't think they have a concept of like money and where it comes from and what makes money, like what's considered a profit, like what, like you know when you talk about like what's like a profit center, like what's actually making the money, like even when I talk about my own job, right? Like I do accounting. Accounting doesn't make a business money. We just maintain the integrity, right? We maintain the financial statements. We make sure that the business doesn't collapse because, you know, staying up to code or whatever, right? But we're not directly responsible for making these companies money. Like, you know, I'm now going to be working in the pharmaceutical industry. Accounting is not making the money for the pharmaceutical company. It's the pharmaceutical drugs, right? So I feel like people don't understand that translation. So it's like, how do you associate someone having followers with making money? Like they never, I don't think they really conceptualize how that doesn't make sense. Like, no, the only way really influencers are making money is from like them promoting products. That's really like the only way they really make money. And when they have a following, they're able to use that and come up with a ratio of their engagement rate. Okay, how much engagement do you get based off how many followers you get? They come up with a rate, and then they promote that to advertisers. Like, look, okay, this is how many, like 50% of my followers liking my post. So that's a high engagement rate. I don't think most people even have that. Like that's really high. You get paid based off that rate. That's it. Having the followers themselves doesn't do anything. And I don't think a lot of people are really intelligent enough to conceptualize what actually makes profit. Like what's the money maker here?
Yeah.
You know?
Especially like entertainment is so volatile. So it's like,
so you saw that with COVID. We saw that with COVID. Yeah. Like once the COVID happened and all these artists couldn't tour anymore, like that was their big money maker, is touring.
Or even when there was the recent writer's strike, like people immediately are out of work and are not getting paid. Or anytime like it's too volatile of an industry. Like you're hot 1 second and you're not the next second. Like they love you, then they hate you. Like it's too much movement around. Like it's too complicated for money to be so consistent as if it's like a formal job. And again, no judgment, but just for anybody out there, like don't be confused by that. Like that's not an uncommon practice. You know, at the end of the day, it's prostitution no matter what. But you know, you might hear people refer to it as escorting and
tricking.
All that kind of stuff. Any of those kind of words, it all means the same thing. You're doing something sexual for money. Like
for me though, like I mean, like I know we said we're not judging that, and I know this whole point of the conversation is just getting people to understand that's where the money is being made from. But I don't know, like I try not to judge, but I really cannot like understand that. Like I don't know, I just feel like everybody views sex different, right? I just feel like that's such like a privilege for people to have that experience, and I feel like just to give it out is crazy. I don't know. And like, how do you not, as a woman, feel like, dang, like, am I lowering my value because I'm like giving something up for money?
They probably feel that way, but what do you value more?
Yeah, I think people value money more. But it's like, your body's your body. This is your only body that you'll ever have, and like, you're gonna treat it like that. I don't know. This is crazy to me. For money, I don't know.
Maybe, like you said, everybody's different. So,
what's worse though? Somebody giving it for money or somebody giving it for free?
Yeah, and that's the other part, because there's a lot of people out here.
What do you think is worse?
Giving it for money or giving it for free?
Because when you're giving it for free, right? In a way, you're doing it for yourself, right? But when you're doing it for money, you're literally doing it just for money.
I think it depends, because like Tiana Trump's example, like she was doing all that stuff in general anyway.
Yeah.
And then she said her friend told her, you might as well just make money off of it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a combination in that scenario where it's like she's doing it for herself because she was doing it before the money, and she's also now getting paid. So it's like doing it for both.
Yeah.
So if it's like a scenario like that, then.
Which that's fine. That's how you want to live your lifestyle. Like I said, not everybody values or views sex in the same way. Like some people want to just be open and experience as many people as possible. Like fine, but that ain't me.
Doing it for free versus doing it for money. That's a tough one. I won't give a decision on that, but I think doing it for money is tough because there's the morality part of it.
Yeah, like you're putting your morals aside for money.
For money.
That's why I feel like it's worse like that, actually. I feel like for free, like I said, for free, you're probably doing it more likely just for yourself or whatever demons you're battling. But money is like you're pinning your own, like you're pinning moral side for money.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So if I was to have a hard stance, it would be like, yeah, doing it for money is worse.
Yeah.
But if you are going to do it for money and you also enjoy it at the same time, then
fine.
Then fine.
But if you're doing it for money just because that's because you need money, like that's crazy. Or because you just want money or you want quick money and you know deep down you're not that type of person, but you're doing it for that reason, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other ways to make money out here. You don't have to live a luxury lifestyle. So
that's the other part. You don't have to you don't need all of the. Everybody wants those things, but you don't have to have the G-Wagon and mansion life and everything. Like, of course, we all want that, but you also, let's be realistic, right? None of the people that you're around have that.
Yeah.
Like, not many people can name anyone that they know in real life that they know personally that has these things.
A lot of people probably can't even name people personally who make six figures. So let alone
so jumping even that over
$1 million, like come on.
Yeah, and $1 million is a lot of money to make it, like really in life in general.
Yeah,
but also just in 1 year.
We just did the math about how long it would probably take us to reach 1 million, like in total income ever in life, and it's like years, almost a decade. So
yeah, but anyway, your favorite influencer is definitely a sex worker.
Yeah.
If they don't have like an active business that we can look at.
Yeah. Like, come on. I want you to be real honest with yourself. Even, and especially too, you can see, because some of these influencers don't even get a lot of likes on their posts anymore, but they're still somehow maintaining a lifestyle. Come on, we know what that means.
Yeah.
They're barely promoting products. They're barely posting YouTube videos. Like, come on.
And let's
be honest.
We've heard.
Some of them have money saved up too. So
yeah, you could have money saved up. But yeah, definitely. Like I've heard, guys paying 20, 30, 40.
Sad.
40,000.
That's another thing we gotta talk about too. It's who do we blame? It's like the men, right? The men need cause it's funny, men will complain about women doing these things, but they're the ones creating the market for it.
I said that, but it's only the men that don't. The men that complain about it are the men that are jealous of it.
That's true. Because the men that do complain about it but I don't know, some rappers be talking about like bops and this and that, and they be judging women, but then they're the same ones that probably are participating in that.
Yeah, they're just hypocrites because they've definitely 100% bought someone a car, paid for somebody's veneers.
But then out there in music talking about, your girls, and blah, blah, blah. I was like,
they just be chatting. We're not paying attention to them. But we still always gonna blame. Because it starts and ends with women. So if women don't want to go for it, even if a guy wants it, then that's it. Then we don't even have the industry.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I won't place blame on
on
who, because it's two people. Takes two to tango. So
And I mean, the industry's been around since the beginning of time, so
The
that's
very
another
first
thing.
job.
Like it's saying the stuff is not going to change anything. It's been around literally since the beginning of time.
And we don't necessarily need to change anything.
Yeah, we don't. Like that's
it's just an awareness.
It's not affecting me. That's
it's
their
just,
life. Yeah,
it's just an awareness thing. Don't be confused.
That's the whole point of this conversation. Just letting people know, like, stop looking up to these people, thinking like, because sometimes they'll feed the lies to you too, because they don't want to admit how they're making their money, right? So a lot of times they'll feed these lies to these young girls. Oh, all you need to do is work hard, start a business, get an LLC, post YouTube videos, just post content. Like they'll be pushing that stuff onto them, knowing good and well that then that's not how they're getting their main source of income. Like, why are you lying to these people?
Yeah.
Like selling a dream. So people just need to put, they just need to use their noggins and put two and two together and think about it. Really think about it. Like, they're not showing off their body because they think their body is nice. They're advertising themselves. Yeah. Let's be honest. Like, it's crazy. That's why I kind of wish we had a little bit more intel. I wish we knew like how people really get down, because we'd probably be shocked if we really knew like the secrets of some of these people.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked either, but it would probably just be funny. Like, dang, her? Oh my God, her and him?
Yeah, Rocky said that one time. He was
wow.
I think he was in like a 40-something or something like that, and he was saying how some of the women that were on the boat you would never think.
Yeah, like, dang, you're here? Oh.
And it was like their first time doing it, or just like all that stuff. But yeah, when you see all those, again, it's not everybody, and you can't just assume that just because somebody might be even around that they're doing it. But yeah, if there's certain people that's on the boat, in Miami,
like that one girl, I heard she's like a real pass around, get around that. I think her name's Sarah. She's like blonde hair.
Allegedly.
Sarah
Snyder.
I think that's her, right? And she look so innocent and like nice, but it's like I heard she be around.
All alleged.
Around.
Alleged.
For a while now too. And I'm not sure she's still engaged in that, but I mean, if you go to her page right now, I'm sure she's on a private jet somewhere, and it's like, whose jet is that? It's not like, come on, we know it's probably more likely than not her money,
right?
But.
And women, I think there's also the thing, and I wanted to wrap because I didn't think we were going to talk about it this long, but there's also the thing, like, men. I think women get confused too that men are paying women just for being pretty and not doing anything.
Yeah.
And there are the dumbass men that will do that.
Yeah.
But 9.9 times out of 10 is going to be some exchange of services. Yeah. Like, men are just giving away money for you to just sit there and take your IG pics.
Wild exchanges too. Because I heard like some one girl, she was associated with Selena Powell, like, that whole the thoughts I just give it for free, right? They be going through it. I heard like getting peed on, but they like it because they're just sex fiends, right? But imagine the ones that don't really care for it, but they're doing anything for a bag. That's like the whole thing with P Diddy, R. Kelly. Like, you hear about the stuff like that with them, like the stuff that they're probably doing, getting peed on, getting degraded, anything for $1.
All alleged, but yes.
And $1 that's not even gonna last them forever. That's the crazy part to me. Because like, what's the retirement plan? If you're not investing the money, if you're not putting it in someplace, it's kind of crazy to think about it. And then we end up seeing how those old thoughts end up falling off and what they end up doing when they're like in their 50s, 40s. It's like, this is going to be interesting to see a lot of like the people that we, like the well-known ones that we've been around and seen how they're going to be in like the next 20 years or less.
One of the things that I saw, it was actually something I think you reposted on TikTok. I need to delete that app. I'm tired.
Why? No, don't delete it.
Then I'm probably gonna delete it.
No.
But it was just the concept of
you see all my
why.
Reposts?
Yeah, because I don't follow anybody, so all I see is yours. But
I be having good reposts.
It was the concept of, and like, I don't know why it's still this continued conversation, or like women be so baffled by it, but why men can see your friends are fake before you can.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it really comes down to just one simple concept.
It's always friends and moms, both of you guys.
Yeah, because it's women in general, because a man's whole purpose in life is to find a woman and secure them.
True.
So men look at women from a different perspective than women do, because women don't look to women for that same kind of emotional thing, like, you know what I mean?
You look at them for like friendships,
like,
and
yeah,
sometimes
like,
friendships just can mean anything.
Yeah, women look at women for friendships, so they don't look at it with the same microscope that they would put on a guy.
Yeah.
So if they're looking for a male partner as a woman, you're gonna put that man under a microscope, but you don't also do the same thing for your friends. But for men do that because men are trying to pursue women, And so men are able to put that microscope on everybody. So you, your friends, your aunties, your grandma, your mom.
Yeah. Because you're evaluating what you would want as your wife, as your mother of your children. So you're kind of analyzing.
Right. Like, does she seem like a liar? Like, all those kind of weird, like the manipulation, all those little nuances about something that, like, all those nuances that a woman could have about herself, men are just able to see it easier because we just have those glasses on to always evaluate women in that way. So the reason why men can typically pick out, oh, she's fake, she's lying to you, she's slimy, all that kind of stuff, is for that reason. It's just we look at it in a different way, and we know what we would look for in a woman. And if your friends are doing certain things, we know that that's not somebody we would pursue. So that means that that should be somebody that you shouldn't be friends with.
And the moms just know because life experience. They probably dealt with those same type of friends one time or another.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always moms and boyfriends.
It's easy.
And to be making mad because both you and my mom are both right about literally the same friends. Like every single one, every single thing you guys said about every single one of my friends who are not my friends anymore, you guys were all right. And the thing is, it's not like I know that you guys are wrong, but it's almost like I just give people chances. So it's like, oh no, they probably didn't mean it like that. Oh no, they probably didn't mean it like that.
You see how that's worked out. You
realize, oh, they meant it like that.
Yeah, and I think also the thing is, I think it's because, it's understandable that women think that it's a control thing. It's like,
no, but because some guys definitely is.
100%.
They just don't. They just want to isolate their
because they have the fear that, oh, you go out with your girlfriends and they're gonna get you to do some devious shit. Now, first and foremost, that is 100% true.
No, that's definitely true.
That 100% happens.
Funny enough, I actually just saw a Reddit post about that because people keep pinning Reddit stuff on Twitter about a woman that was going on. It was like a not safe for work cruise. I feel like we've seen this cruise before. And she was, her single friends were trying to get her to go on, and she's married, and so she said she wasn't comfortable going without her husband.
Right.
And her friends were like, "Oh no, like there's gonna be other men on the ship." And she's like, "What do you mean by that? Like, no, I want to bring my husband." And then she said that, and these are like people in their 30s, 40s, mad at her because she wanted to bring her husband, and they were trying to like basically insinuate, "Oh, there's other men on the boat if you," because she's like, "Oh, I don't want to be a third wheel. Like, why you guys are like doing all that?"
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Yo, you won't be a third wheel. There's other men there." And she's like, well, "I'm married," and she was like, "So." I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Even these oldies be trying to make their friends do some nefarious.
Yeah, because it's always the single ones, yo. It's always them because they see what you have. They want to have those same sorts of things, and for whatever reason they can't find a good relationship. Maybe they're just bad people. They can't be married and have that secure relationship the way that they would want to. So they see you in your strong, solid relationship, then they want to tear it down. And we've seen that happen firsthand with our own experiences. So women friends they can be like really horrible people and throw so much of a wrench into your relationship that it's like crazy.
Yeah. And a lot of times you really don't realize it until after. Like in real time, it's kind of hard to clock it, but then it's like after when you're really evaluating like everything. Because sometimes you got to see things from a full picture. Like you can't really understand something when you're living in one part of it. And so you sit back and look at it, and it's like, whoa. Yeah. Like that shit was crazy.
Certain things people said, or oh, he doesn't have to know, like all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, there's other men here, like. Even like the purposeful trying to separate you from your man kind of thing, like that's one of those reasons, because why would it matter? Like you having your man there isn't going to impact them in any way. Yeah, you can still go do whatever you want on your cruise.
They wanted to be this girls trip, but what's wrong? Like with the husband being there,
right? Like if you want to go do whatever you want to do, and I was going to say something explicit, but you can still do that,
especially if there are other men there. So it's like if there are other men there, then just imagine your friend's husband as like another random man there anyway. Like if you're gonna be messing with men while you're there, it's not a girls trip anyway.
Yeah, but
so why are you mad that she's bringing her man?
Yeah, but they're mad because they want her to go and do some crazy shit so that they have something to talk about in the group chat, or they have some dirt on you now. So or it just lessens your relationship. So like the way that you might have some greatly perceived relationship, but now they throw that in there, and maybe you did do something. Now they get to talk shit about your relationship. Now it gives them something to speak about. But it's for me, it's so easy to pick out just from having those glasses on. Like, nah, like she really wildin'. And also aside from that too, aside from just looking at women in that way, some of the closest women and men, if you're listening, maybe tell me if I'm wrong, because this is just kind of my personal experience. Your friends are the closest people that will be to me of the opposite sex, aside from family members.
Yeah.
Which might be just common sense.
You're around them more, like,
right?
Whether it's a birthday party, whether it's a trip, whether it's a night out,
right?
Whether it's just chilling in the dorm or in a house.
Yeah, like chilling in their places, their homes, all that kind of stuff. Them chilling in your place, in your home.
Yeah.
There's gonna be no other women as
point.
close.
Yeah.
So there's also that part. Like, women do weird shit when they're around their friends' significant other, men. Yeah. So like, they might say something, do something, make some type of joke, some type of comment, or all of those different things. And that's the other part. It's like, her actions were XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Maybe you should probably stay away from her because she's exhibiting certain behaviors where I feel like she might be trying to mess up this relationship, or by her trying to pursue me, or she's just making certain comments and certain jokes, or like there might be some weird stuff that a guy might recognize as well that might make him say those things. So aside from just looking at women from those goggles, it's also they're so close in proximity that you can point out some of the behaviors and the way they even interact with you that might be potentially problematic in the future, and a guy could call those kinds of things out. But to me, if you don't have a abusive, controlling type of boyfriend or husband, to me, if a guy is giving you a warning about of a woman, you might want to at least don't completely disregard it. I'm not saying he's 100% right.
Yeah, it's not like men are always right, but
at least
if you're seeing some signs, like, at least be like,
at least aware. Think about it.
Yeah.
Don't become paranoid too.
Yeah. Like, and it also doesn't mean you have to necessarily cut those friends off too, but you might have to like just reorganize your friend structure.
Yeah, just move accordingly.
Okay, maybe this person I'm not gonna hang out with as much, and like they'll just be a friend from a distance, or maybe I could say something now, and maybe they'll change their ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because stuff gets weird, and that leads me to another conversation I actually saw too. Was women saying like the whole, "Oh, y'all are so cute together," but the girl the whole time low-key wants your man. Like, that's...
In my experience, those are the main ones. The ones that always liking every post about your relationship, every tweet about your relationship, complimenting it. In my experience, the main ones. Literally.
And it was a bunch of women. It was like... they were all like commenting together. That was like actually a huge TikTok I saw, and then they're all agreeing. It's like, yeah, it's always my friend that's like always complimenting. Oh, y'all so cute together. And it's like, well, I know you're attracted to him, and you're also saying y'all are so cute together. And it's like the imagining of them being in that position. Like, men can pick up on those things too. Some men aren't gonna be as like aware. I know I'm kind of like a special case because like I need to know where I stand with everybody because it just helps me. I just like being familiar with my surroundings, so I'm always going to pay attention to that kind of stuff. And I know some men might not pay attention to it, but I know a lot of men can pick up on certain things. Mm-hmm. People look at you a certain way, like.
And girls, we can pick up on it too, a lot of signs. But I feel like sometimes when it's your friends, you might ignore it, but sometimes not really. Like, sometimes when it's your friends, you actually do notice it, but then you don't want to be. You want to keep the peace.
From a woman's perspective, is it? Like, if
you're a woman, so it's like I'm a woman, so I know what signs are there.
Yeah, from your perspective, do you think it's like of course, in a scenario where they try to actually act on certain things, of course that's a problem. Yeah. But from your perspective, is it like a no harm, no foul kind of thing? If nothing ever comes from it, but you at least like let me expound. So like your friend. If you weren't in the picture, would want your man.
Yeah.
And maybe some of their actions might be a little flirty or whatever.
Yeah.
But they've never explicitly said anything.
Yeah.
Is it a no harm, no foul kind of thing? Or is that the kind of thing that you would cut off either historically or like in the future?
In my opinion, I feel like it's something you would cut off. And I say that because everything for me obviously is hindsight. But it's like, I feel like and I get humans, we have a lot of like subconscious things that we do. We have a lot of like you're not doing it on purpose, because it's just like, so I guess that's subconscious. But I do feel like in a way, like if you, because like I don't think that's a abnormal thing, right? Like if, especially if you and your friend are a similar type of person, right? You guys you guys are friends for a reason in some way or another because there's some type of commonality there. So it's not odd to also find the same men attractive, especially if you're both like black women. You know, you're more likely gonna find the same like black men attractive, right? So that's not abnormal to me. But I feel like if you can't control yourself enough to not even like, because I feel like by you like being flirty, even if it's subconscious or not, like control yourself. Because I feel like if you're being flirty because the goal of flirting is to gain the attention of somebody. So it's like even like you flirting with my man who you might think is attractive, or like being just kind of weird around him. It's almost like you're giving him that like signal, almost like, hey, I'm here. Well, you know, whether you're gonna actually do something or not, it's like you're still kind of giving that vibe. And I feel like that's weird to me because it's like, why? Like, control yourself. And I feel like if you can't control yourself, then you shouldn't be friends with other women because like you're not, like, in my opinion, a girl's girl. Like you're not able to control your male urges enough to have meaningful woman friendships.
No.
So that's why I say cut it off, because there could have been friends who I never knew if they were attracted to you or not, and they hit it well, which I can respect because it's like they're respecting me, they're respecting our friendship, so they're suppressing their feelings and they're just almost viewing you like, okay, like that's my friend's boyfriend. No, like ew. Like they're almost like making it in their mind, like trying to make themselves not attracted to you because they're just like, that's like they're viewing you as that's her boyfriend. And like I respect that. But if you're a friend who's like saying things like, I don't know, I've obviously I have my stories, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, I'm a woman too. I know what you're doing. I know how you're acting. Like, why are you touching my man? Why are you play fighting with my man? Why are you saying certain stuff? Like, it's just like, come on. It's mad disrespectful in my opinion.
You want to call anybody out by name?
No, everything, like I said, is hindsight. Like being an older person and I clock these things in real time. Like I recognize them in real time, but being older now and like really like acknowledging like, my experiences is like, damn, like people really like tried to play in my face, whether it was purposeful or not. It's just like weird to me that you would like be like that around somebody else's, like that, you know, like that's your friend, like that. You don't have to be my friend. That's the thing. You don't have to be my friend. You could do whatever you want, pursue him, whatever you want, do whatever you want with him. But then why be my friend? Like that, I just don't get it. Like, you don't have to be my friend.
From my perspective, and this has always been kind of a tough thing, because certain things that are like whoa, like take a step back. Yeah. You need to not speak to this woman. One of the tough things is that whole like concept of not wanting to come across as being like controlling or anything like that. Yeah. Because you don't want to. Like, it's tough to like you got a signal. So let me, let's be more specific. Okay. So there's been times where there's been certain shit where I'm like, I know what it is. Yeah. But not speaking up and saying anything about it because you don't want to like, yeah. Yeah. And it's like, if there's nothing so explicit, it's like, is it even worth bringing up?
I know. Cause I know same friends will try to probably be like, what? No.
No. I mean, like me bringing up, like, is there even a point in bringing it up? Cause it's like, you're introducing something almost like, yeah, maybe that was a signal, maybe it wasn't, who knows? Yeah. Is it worth like now putting that in your mind where it's like, now you gotta, I know, yeah, now you gotta feel every little thing, yeah. And maybe those things, maybe it is true, but it's like sometimes it's like,
I think the best thing is if the girl brings it up first. If your girl's like, hey, like, it's like, I don't know, is she like, am I crazy? And then you're like, nah, like I've been wanting to tell you that, but I don't want to sound crazy. I feel like that's the best situation. I did, which I feel like that happened in our relationship, where I've said something like, am I crazy? And you're like, nah. Like I feel the same way. Every single person I think like who I felt had weird vibes with, like woman wise, I've been right, because it's obvious. Like women are not slick. Even people who weren't my friends, like I just pick up on stuff. I'm like, okay, what's going on there? Like, why is she acting weird? Like, do you feel like she's acting weird? And you're like, yeah, like.
Who were some of these people?
I'm not saying it on camera.
Here, type it into the notes.
No.
Type it into your notes so we can be on the same page.
No.
You don't want to tell me?
No.
Really?
No. I'm not saying that. Well, I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just
wild stuff. It is wild. Yeah, women friends be snaky. Women are snaky in general, but there's. Because we talked about this before, and maybe it wasn't on the podcast, but about men that will follow women just to be close in proximity, hoping that their relationship messes up. women, of course, do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they might keep you in proximity,
yeah,
just to be close to your significant other.
Yeah.
It's like, don't put it past a woman to do something like that either.
yeah,
And it makes it so much easier because
I know.
they get to get off things easier just being in the same social setting.
yeah,
And then it's gonna be perceived as, oh, they're like, maybe they're just cool,
Yeah,
or
like
we're all just hanging
friends.
out and it's all
Yeah.
good, but it's really not. That's not really the intention.
yeah,
Because men do the
And-
same thing. So I know from a male
Yeah.
perspective, if men do it, then women definitely do it.
yeah. I feel like I definitely experienced that. It's like, dang, like, I don't know, because it's like I don't like that, because like you, like in my mind, you never really wanted to be my friend. You never really cared for me as a friend. You never wanted to nurture that relationship or develop it. You just wanted to be around to be around my man. Like that's how I perceive it, and I don't like that, because like I don't like the concept of being used. And like for in a nefarious way like that too, because that's just so grimy and snaky. Like you don't have, like I said, you don't have to be my friend. Do whatever you want. If you want a man, then don't be my friend, and then go at it. Go do whatever you want. But why be my friend? No, I'm saying because like, cause then for me it's like you didn't owe me that loyalty, quote unquote. Even though I feel you owe yourself that loyalty, but just to continue to be my friend and pretend to be my friend.
That's what I feel like.
It's crazy.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, I was done.
I feel like that was the situation with allegedly with De'Ara, for example.
Yeah,
like you don't have to be friends with the woman.
Yeah,
like if you want to take her,
yeah.
take her,
yeah,
then go for it.
Yeah,
but
like
you don't
why
have
go
to,
on a trip?
But it's like
Why
the trips, but it's like that getting that close proximity.
Yeah,
like you
you
have
did-
to
yeah.
you have to be around.
I wouldn't
like-
be surprised too if she was thinking that. Like it's so evil to me.
Yeah,
It's literally evil.
and you could pick up on energy. Like it's not hard to pick up on people's energy. So
It's not. Like people are
know what
not
it is.
slick. They're not sly. Like you're not. Like people, stuff rarely gets past me. Like I could read it. People are easy reads.
Yeah.
Nonverbal cues are easy reads.
The
like,
nonverbals
is the easiest.
Is the easiest.
Look at the eye contact, the body language. Like it's just so, ugh. It's craziness.
I think the craziest part about that is definitely doing it in front of the other person.
And that's what I mean. And that's what I mean, because it's like what we were saying earlier about like, do you cut that person off? It's like, yeah, because the fact that they're even willing to do it in front of you, they don't respect
crazy,
you. They don't respect you.
With you not being there, then it'd be even crazier. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, cut that shit off.
That's why, like, when people always be like, "Oh, advice to give to people under 25," like that'd be my advice. Like, cut it off, because all like you're saving yourself from any type of harm by cutting things early. Because if not, then all you're gonna do is get disappointed and feel like, damn, like I knew this shit and I didn't clock it, and now I'm dealing with the like byproduct of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, dang. But I feel like also too, at the same time, life is sometimes worth having lessons like that. Like sometimes you have to go through those things to then learn for yourself. Unfortunately,
sometimes I believe that kind of stuff, but then I'm like, nah, I don't even need to go through it.
Yeah, cool. You don't.
I don't need the trauma.
My thing is, I'd rather I'm not going through certain things. But for me, I feel like at the same time, it's like
it helps.
It helps because I feel like I've always had such a naive way of living. I've always had such I always thought the best of people. Like I never had the concept of like friends doing you dirty. Like, and literally until I was like maybe 16, 17, I never like conceptualized that was like even a thing.
Nah, people are crazy.
And I was like, wow, like. So, you know, I wish I didn't have to deal with certain stuff, but I feel like it's taught me lessons that I will cherish, and then maybe hopefully my daughters listen to our daughters listen. And they like, take your mama's advice, please. Take your mama's advice.
I hope I don't have daughters, but if I do, I will love y'all and cherish y'all. But I hope I don't.
No,
women have it way. No, women have it way worse.
We do.
Let's be completely honest, because men could be snaked by their friends, of course.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, women have it worse because I think men are more loyal to their friends than women are loyal to their friends.
I think so too.
And not only that, so women have to deal with it on that side, but then also they have to deal with a man, which is just, bad in itself. Just the same way it's bad for a man to have to deal with a woman. Mm-hmm. But the fact that a man tends to be more loyal to their friends than women are.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't have any stats on any of these things, but just in my experiences and the stuff that I've seen.
It's true though, because you see a lot more like lifetime friendships with men than women, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Women and like sometimes
fight every day.
Women, you'll see a lot of lifetime, long friendships too. Though, 'cause I do feel like there is an element of loyalty that always stays between a friend that you might meet in kindergarten to adulthood than those friends that you meet like in the middle sometimes. So like I feel like lots of times like we see a lot of college friendships don't last. Like I feel like if you see all the people we went to school with, that's probably like maybe like a good little small section of people that stay friends, but a lot of those friends, especially freshman year, like everybody's just friends with everybody, and then you see how like that ends up dispersing by the time senior year comes around.
Yeah.
But not necessarily for the men though. I feel like a lot of men, even in college, are still friends with those freshman year friends. So it definitely says a lot.
Yeah. But yep. But that man
if he's
tells if he's warning you,
listen.
Don't take it as being the truth, but at least maybe just hear him out for a second.
Yeah.
Because he's not just saying it for no reason.
Yeah, he's trying to protect you. And that goes beyond like obviously your friend wanting you, like your man type of thing, but also just like that friend just not being a good friend for you. Like it could the friend could not even want you, right? But they could still just not be a good friend, and you're telling them like that friend's putting you in these bad situations. That friend doesn't care for you. She doesn't show up for you. She doesn't support you. She's fake. She probably be talking about you, like
be using you, all that kind of stuff.
Be using you. Yep, you clock like men be clocking that stuff too.
Yeah.
And women will sit there like, no. She's not like that.
Meanwhile, they got the whole separate group chat without you.
Yeah, and then you learn for yourself. Oh, they're like that. Like
no, they're
like haters. That. They're users. They want to see you fail like them. They want to drag you down with them. They look a mess, so they want you to look a mess. So they might do stuff to try to mess you up on purpose.
Yeah, like don't wear.
They're insecure, so yeah, don't wear makeup.
Don't wear makeup. How y'all dressing?
Are you guys wearing makeup
stuff.
today?
That's all toxic.
I wear makeup every day. Don't ask me that. Like. It's toxic. Like people try to excuse that. It's toxic. Like in hindsight, it's toxic. Cause why do you care how I look? Like why is that? Why am I a competition for you? Like I wear makeup every day. Like I don't care what we're doing. We could go to ShopRite. We could go to the gas station. We could go to a house party. We could go to the mall. I'm wearing makeup. Like that. Cause that's just who I am. Why do I have to like now diminish myself because you don't want to do makeup? So now you feel less than around me. Like that's a you problem. So there's so many layers with people. Like that's what in my opinion, I think community is important. I feel like fostering relationships in life are important, but I also feel like you could keep that to a minimum. Some people get lucky and find a lot of people who are just good, but somebody said too they feel like there is a thing like there's no way that people who have a whole lot of friends that all those friendships are genuine. Like in my opinion,
no, of course not.
There's no way you're clocking them. You're definitely ignoring stuff. You're definitely letting people do stuff to you. Like some people, rare cases, no, like everybody's solid. But more likely than not, I feel like these people that have all these big friend groups, there's no way all that's genuine. Like in my opinion, I feel like 1 to 2 good like core friends is all you need in life. In my opinion, like I feel like everybody else is gonna come and go, or they're just not gonna be truths for you. They're not gonna care for you. Like people who genuinely care for you is very rare in my opinion. Like genuinely, they care about you. They care about your feelings. Like they want to see you win. They're proud of you. They're happy for you. That is a rare experience in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you learn that with life. And sometimes as women, it takes us longer to see it. Men see it quick.
Immediately.
Moms see it immediately. But that's just a part of life. Like you have to go through things. And unfortunately, like I said, I wish there were some things I could have avoided learning because it's like, damn, why did I have to learn a lesson like that? But I mean, at least I learned it earlier, right? I feel like I learned it about like I was in my 20s. So some people learn this stuff so much later. Even though I do think it's common for people to learn it in their 20s. It's probably average. Because, like, you know, everybody starts growing up and getting careers and starting families and getting married. And all those things are real tests. And the funny thing about my friendships that you clock too, like, it's kind of funny that they, like, fell apart when they did. Because I can only imagine, like, the way my life is now. I feel like those type of friends would literally fucking, like, it would have got worse, in my opinion. Like, the way things would have went down. Because, like, you was already, like, mad and, like, feeling a way about who I was back then. Like, imagine now, like. I look better. I make more money. I'm more successful. Our relationship is what it is. It's still solid. Like, I can only imagine the type of weird, shady shit. Like, it would have already happened. It was destined to happen with those type of people.
Yeah.
It's if they checking on me now, they'll see. Still lit.
Still lit. The king.
Yeah, I'm still the king. And it's only up from here. It's still very early. I'm only 27.
And I'm only getting better. Something.
The haters out of your life, please. That's the thing. The haters could literally risk your life. Like I could have been in I've been in dangerous situations, but I literally saw a story the other day about a woman who apparently was celebrating a job promotion with her friends, and she went to the bathroom and then her friends put something in her drink. And some guy was like, don't drink that. When you was at the bathroom, your friends just put something in the drink. And she was like, what? Like, why the fuck did you guys trying to poison me because I'm celebrating my job promotion? Like, Just please, people, watch
Women
out.
are sneaky.
Haters are everywhere.
Haters are everywhere, and you'll never.
And
you won't necessarily know.
You won't know. And if you're somebody that fills off so many brackets, you're definitely gonna experience that. Like your looks wise, your education wise, your money wise. Like if you just fill so many different brackets, be wary, please. Like it sounds cocky, but it's true. Because like I said, I dealt with it firsthand. I was a very open-minded, happy person, happy for everybody, wanted the best for everybody, and it backfired. Being nice backfires every time.
I like to end this specific topic with a quote. This was from a very popular poet.
Mm-hmm. Who? Edgar Allan Poe.
And he said this. Yeah, been on the move like the lease is up. Mm-hmm. And I can't even name one person that's keeping up.
Mm-hmm. I
Damn.
can't.
Fuck how it was in the past tense.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself, how do we match up now? Because I'm only 27 and I'm only getting better. If I haven't passed you yet, watch me catch up now. For real.
I felt that. Oh my God, I need that. That's gonna be a caption since we're still 27. Let me get that. Send me that screenshot. I need that. And that's how. Who's that? Drake?
Of course, it's Drake.
I could tell it's Drake type bars.
Yeah, because that's all. He was 27 doing 0 to 100, which is crazy.
That's crazy. Give me that. I need that. Nah, but that's true. It's true. And like we were saying, that was the whole point of the topic. Like men and moms, they see it all. They see the haters. They see the ones that want them. They see the snakes. And sometimes you see it for yourself too. It might take a little longer, but eventually everybody shows who their true colors. There's no way to hide your true self for long. So I'm glad everybody did. And good luck in life. Well, you know what? No. Someone said that stop wishing your enemies good. Well, I don't have enemies, but stop wishing people who done you bad good. Like, you know, when people are like, I wish you well. I don't. I don't wish you well. I wish people the experience that they gave me and gave others. That's what I wish. I don't
wish anybody anything.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Let's start there.
I only care about myself. Goodbye.
I wish you what you give out.
And this is a new segment brought to you by Alex and Mao. So I think Reddit has a lot of really good questions and thought-provoking things on it. Yeah. I think Reddit is still the best social media website, and their IPO performance is definitely displayed that, like, basically doubled in like the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. But when you think about it, Reddit is
phenomenal.
Because the thing I like about Reddit is that there's so much subsections. Like you could find very specific Reddit, like subreddits for everything that you're experiencing or going through or doing or pursuing, right? Like I even found one for CPA candidates, like for everybody to talk about their studying. I'm like, and there's no character limits.
Yeah.
There's no really like pictures. We can share pictures and stuff, but it's lit.
Yeah.
I've been using it a lot more lately.
We're going to do, what is one ugly truth you learned as you got older? We're going to answer that question. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go first, because I need some time to think. I have to do a lot of ugly truths.
Yeah. So you have to only pick one. So
I know.
Try to filter it down. One ugly truth that I learned as I got older is that nobody gives a fuck about you. And that goes for really, and it's not everybody. Let me reword that. Yeah, one ugly truth that I learned as I got older is that nobody gives a fuck now about you.
Yeah.
Now, this is of course not applicable to everybody. I'm not saying that everybody's parents hates them. I'm not saying that specifically, but I think everybody has the capacity to not give a fuck about you, even the people that you think are like the person that should care more than anybody. So that does go for parents, family members, you know, like your boss, your, like anybody. Literally anybody has the ability to not care about you. And you could see in the way that people treat their kids. You see in the way family members could treat you. Like your boss might hate you. Mm-hmm. Your significant other might hate you. Yeah. Everybody really has the propensity to like really not care about your well-being, and will also do things purposefully to harm your well-being as well.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people get taken advantage of that fact, because people will think in their mind, you know, this is supposed to be my best friend. This is supposed to be my mom. They're supposed to care about me more than anybody. And so they go into the relationship just thinking like basically naive to the fact that this person could really harm you. And that's one thing I had to learn, is that you should take everything that everybody says, regardless of their title in your life. You should take it with a grain of salt and understand that this person could do you harm too.
Yeah.
So.
And that doesn't, like I said, that doesn't mean like be paranoid or whatever. Like that doesn't mean like.
Just be aware that the world is not a pretty place, and that people do some real horrible, evil things. Even the people that you would assume wouldn't do anything like that to you, they very well could.
Yeah.
And don't let somebody's title or status in your life be the one thing that prevents you from thinking that. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn that, like, no, your friends will snake you. You know, your family members might not have the best mentality on you or wish the best for you.
Yeah.
Like, this could be applicable for everything. Like relationships, friendships, at any point, someone could turn on you in an instant, and it could be for any reason. It might not even be for anything you necessarily did. So that's my one ugly truth I learned over the years.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn. Go ahead.
I'm still thinking.
You still thinking? Come on. You know.
Ugly truth.
We are young. We have not lived that long for you
know.
To be thinking that much.
All
right, just pick one. It doesn't have to be the most, but just pick one ugly truth that you learned.
Whoa. Sorry. Yankees just won, so we had to witness that. Ugly truth. Lord. Wait, why can't I think of one? You know what's funny? I literally just like, let me get some ideas real quick from this TikTok I just reposted.
Yeah. Go get some ideas. In the meantime, I just hit on FanDuel for the Yankees winning.
Yay.
I doubled up the bet.
Let's see. Let me see.
Is it going to take long? Because you're selling the clip right now.
I feel like maybe my ugly truths could be about
you can't pick one?
Maybe, okay, you know what my ugly truth could be? Because about me, that, because it kind of goes with this, how like sometimes being, and I kind of just talked about it a little bit with the last topic, but sometimes being like a neutral, people-pleasing type of person is like the one of the worst type of people that you could be. That for me is ugly truth, because it had to make me reevaluate who I am as a person, like who I've always been, and how it's done more harm for everybody, including myself. I feel that's the ugly truth. Because and you're and you know you are like a people pleaser, a happy-go-lucky, calm person, like, you know, trying to keep the peace always person for a reason. Because you just want everything to be fun, you want everything to be peaceful, you want everything to be happy. But sometimes I realize that being that person, like I said, does harm for everybody, because like people are not, some people are not realizing what they're doing is harmful. So you being a people pleaser and trying to be nice to them, you're not correcting their action, which could help them. And you're also not correcting their action that's harming you. So yeah, like, being non-confrontational, you end up just being, it ends up backfiring. Because in my opinion, no matter what type of person you're in this life, you're always going to have someone who doesn't like you, or so you're always going to have an enemy. So it's like, if you're going to be a non-confrontational and a calm, people pleaser person, you might as well not, because being that way, you're going to get enemies anyway. Like, think about my situation, right? I feel like I've been that type of person, and I still have problems with people in my life, being that type of person. So imagine if I wasn't, then I still might have those same enemies, but at least I would have more respect. At least I would have said stuff that I should have said. At least I would have corrected things I should have said, and I would have prevented me from going through stuff. And it would have maybe changed trajectory of some people's lives if I would have said something.
Yeah.
So that's the ugly truth I've dealt with. And it's like I'm still dealing with it, because I feel like I still am a type of person that's a people pleaser. I still overextend myself. I still don't necessarily put up boundaries with people, and it still has a negative effect on me and life in general. So
yeah,
that's definitely an ugly truth.
As being a victim of that from you, definitely. Like,
you're a victim of my people pleasing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, duh. That's kind
because you allow people to run, and what the crazy part about that is that even me as an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, 19-year-old kid, I was still saying that same exact thing. Like, I always brought that up. Like, Never like you let everybody walk over you. Even to this day, you will continue to allow everybody to walk over you. And even in a past life when our relationship was trash, you allow me to do that.
Yeah.
So like you've always allowed people to basically do whatever they want to you, and for the whole purpose of keeping the peace, you never said anything, or if you did say it, you said it to me, which is impactful to me because now I have to deal basically with your issue. I mean, that's part of being in a relationship, is dealing with the other person's issues, but it's allowing you allowed too much to be introduced into our relationship by simply not speaking up about certain things, because then I have to deal with whatever you're going through when you could, and it's not like, that's just how you are. So it's not like your fault, like you're purposely making these decisions.
Yeah.
But it does make it tough to be in a relationship sometimes when there's a lot of problems that get introduced based on that people pleasing aspect, because you're harming yourself first and foremost, and you're my number one priority. I tried to explain this the other day. Like there's not much in my life that exists with much more of a priority than you. Like there really is not. Like aside from maybe myself, there's not many other things that bother me or like that I would be stressed about, or any of those things. It's really just you. I'm not stressed about work. Like I'm good enough at what I do. I'm more than skilled enough to care about not being able to find a job. Like money is not an issue. Like my job is not an issue. My health is not an issue for the moment, thankfully. Like there's not a lot of things. It's really just you. But you've allowed so many times, and even continuously, to allow people to walk over you and not stand up for yourself, or you do actually have a view that you just don't want to share because you want to keep the peace and you don't want people to hate you because you had a history of maybe you said something and then everybody might turn against you because you simply spoke up and chose a side, and you rather care about other people's feelings about you than caring about your own feelings and what you're going through.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I've been a victim of it, from you harming yourself, you being harmed from other people, and then you bringing the way they harm you to me.
Yeah. Or just like indirect effects of
people of you not standing up. So
yes, so that's my ugly truth. And it's like, dang, I'm just really, really, really hope and pray maybe with age and time that I continue to try to outgrow it. I think one way that I've been able to, but one way I will give myself some grace is I feel like definitely I'm like most of my issues that I have with people in my life, I have been the one to make the initial confrontation. But at that point, I'm already done with them. So that's the flaw. Yeah. Because it's like you wait until you're done and until you're at your wit's end to confront people, and that's not good. Like, because that's almost wimpy. Because like you're confronting people with the element of I'm gonna say everything I need to say, and then I'm not gonna speak to you again. Instead of telling people what they need to hear and then still continuing to speak to them. It's like I'm almost like I just don't. This is I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to get to the root of it. I'm gonna go to therapy.
I think part of the problem is that you've always just been around people that you're better than, and I think that that's always like a bad place to be in, because when everybody else is doing less than you, and I know we have different measures of success, but I think in all aspects you're more successful than, well, at least historically. So I'm not sending any shots at anybody right now, but at least just historically, you've always been at the pinnacle or top of the friend group in terms of appearance, relationship status, your amount of money you get, style, like anything you could think of as a stat, you've always historically been better than everybody. And that
not even go back to high school, but like all my friends tried to do track and cross country, and I was the only one that was varsity with no effort. Like I'm not talking down on them, but it's just kind of like I've always dealt with that, like this being like the one thing that people had on me in school was like I wasn't like honor society. I wasn't like I had friends that were smarter than me, right? But like there was definitely like that always being like the with no effort. Like I'm not even trying to talk down on people, but like you said, I'm disagreeing with you. Like just kind of being on the higher end of things.
Yeah.
Whether you call it luck, whether you call it, I don't know. And
anything. It's just so it's always a tough position to be in, because then it just like is a breeding ground for hate. Because because imagine, because that's what happens, I think, even in like celebrity friendships, right? Like imagine like someone like Drake has hundreds of millions of dollars supposedly, and I don't pocket watch, I don't know, maybe he does, maybe he's a multi-billionaire, I wouldn't know, nor do I care. But take somebody in his position and imagine all his friends around him. He wasn't like uplifting them and giving them money, and they were all just still wherever they were at.
Yeah.
And that's like an extreme example, but it's just to like give it like a personified version of what that would feel like if you're the Drake of the friend group. You're gonna be, people always say the Beyonce of the group. Like there's gonna be some hate and some disdain for that comes your way.
So you're gonna deal with like sideways comments. You're gonna deal with people trying to maybe ruin things of you. You know, mess with your relationship, like we talked about. Steal your clothes, like.
Yeah, like because for them it's just like they're so close proximity to something great, and if they're not also doing great, I just think you put yourself in a lot of those kind of friend groups and not really were able to find someone or friends that are in the same realm as you. And I think because of that, it led to a lot of anger or disdain from their end. Not necessarily you, because you're just chilling, but for everybody else.
And I don't even care like that what they're doing. Like I'm bigging them up and, you know, supporting them in the areas that they are excelling in.
Yeah.
But they can't support me.
And for them, it's like that kind of stuff. So then you want to people please and
try to keep the peace and
not
let
say
them say things and do things, and knowing that it's like hurting me or like affecting me, and just letting them still do it just because I'm trying to keep the peace.
Yeah.
And who wants to accuse someone of being a hater, their own friend, right? Like it's like you don't want to do it, and then you do that, and then you're the bad guy, right? Like if I would say, "Oh, you being a hater," then now it's you're the bad guy, and now it's, oh, you think you're better than everybody, because they already think that they already feel that way about you, even if you don't feel that way, right? Mm-hmm. I never felt like I was better than people, but they might have felt that way about me. So now if I accuse you and call you out of being a hater, now that puts me in a bad position, because now it's like, oh, now you're living up to what they already put on
what they already thought.
So it's like that's why I've always been in such a hard position, and then obviously it gets to a point where they can't take it. They just do, you know, it gets they show their true colors, and then now I finally can speak up and say everything I've always wanted to say.
Yeah.
And now it's like, damn.
Yeah, you gotta not do that across all your relationships.
Yeah, even work, because that could affect you at work too.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, haters travel everywhere. So if you're in the workplace, the haters could be there too, because, you know, a lot of times you see, especially in the workplace, with women, they let themselves go. They start looking crazy, and if you're coming in still looking good, still looking fit, still looking cute, still doing your makeup, still doing your hair nice, having nice outfits, you're gonna get hate at work too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to deal with this now before I snap, and then I'm gonna be crazy.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to therapy. I'll have to my therapist.
You should go to therapy, and you should go without me.
Well, yeah. If I do decide to go, I will decide to go without you, and then handle all my stuff first. And if it had to get to a point, if we had to bring you in to handle our relationship stuff, then you would.
I would sincerely hope that's not the case.
It might not be, but maybe like if we got to the point where we had talked to her or him about our relationship, and then maybe she was like, oh, maybe, I mean, I don't think we need couples therapy, but if they wanted to like say like, oh, maybe you guys should, they might suggest it as separate outside of them. But I have so many layers to me. I have like my childhood to go through. I have like my friendship trauma to go through, my personality stuff I gotta figure out. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Probably been there for years.
Yeah. If anybody's listening to this clip and you have an ugly truth that you would like to share that you found over the years, definitely feel free to comment it, and we would love to hear about other people's perspectives on some crazy stuff, because there might be things that we're not thinking of that we actually did go through. But
sometimes we didn't though. Cause like even this Reddit post, like somebody what their like ugly truth is, which is about like death. But like when you're a kid, you know, death is not. But some people. For us, I feel like it's impactful, but not as much as some people, because based off this post, they was talking about people who lost friends young. Like luckily we haven't. Well, you've kind of experienced that, right? Like we just talked about that the other day about people at your school, but they're talking about like firsthand dealing with it, like between the ages of like 10 to like 20, like your friends dying.
I never had a friend die when I was really young, but I do remember there was one child that died, and I forget what he died from, but I think it was like a medical issue. My first rush with that was I might have been in I was definitely younger than 7, so it was anywhere between 4 and 7 years old was the first time I ever like dealt with the concept of like someone dying, because it was somebody that died in a school, and then they had like a memoriam thing, and he was a kid, but I still didn't get it
Yeah.
Like these things still were like foreign concepts to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is death? Like, what do these things mean? But after that, dealt with a
now
lot of it.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what they were saying. Like that was their ugly truth. Was like that we're not immortal. We're not invincible. Because when you're a kid, you feel that way, right? Like when you're a kid, there's no concept really of that. Like you feel like life is infinite when you're young, right? It's like you just feel because the days feel so long. So you just feel like time is endless, and you're so far from 21. Like when you're 10, you're like, oh my god, 21. Oh my god, that's so far. And now we're at 27. It's like, oh. So, yeah. There's a lot of ugly truths.
There's a lot, but for any future episodes, we'll definitely pull a lot more of these kind of thought-provoking questions in, so we're not always talking about pop culture.
Yeah, bashing women or bashing non-Black Americans. Yeah, I know that's been the trend.
We'll switch up on the content, but yeah. So that was today's episode. Do you have anything else? No, you don't.
No.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been...
and if anybody has paid attention though to the podcast, we keep saying we're gonna do the college episode, but we're gonna do that in the summer.
Yeah, closer to when people are actually going to go to college, and we have to I really want to delve into that. That might be like a 4-hour episode.
There's a lot to break down about college, like the college experience and living on campus all 4 years and all that, and relationships, friendships, grades,
family. How to juggle it all, because
there's a lot
that goes on, like dealing with death when you're in school, and just crazy stuff that happens.
Yeah, and just
people dying. There's a lot of people unaliving themselves. There's a lot of different aspects of college.
Sexual assault.
That gets crazy.
Sexual assault is like common, more common than people think. Yeah, fights.
Drugs. There's a lot that goes into it, but I'd like to like break down each thing.
Yeah.
But I think that could do really well, because I think it's important too, because if we can help anybody have a better understanding of what really goes into an experience like going into college, I think we could possibly save some people. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Cause I always think about that. Like I always like we talked about this before so many times off camera. Like I've always looked forward to college when I was younger, because everybody like looks forward to that time. And reflecting on my college experience now, like obviously I'm very like I cherish a lot of our experience, because it still was fun. I might act like we didn't have really fun times, but it's a lot like more for people to really like understand. I feel like everybody's experience is gonna be different, but we just share our experience, because like people do look forward to it, and it is an exciting time, and it can be really exciting. Everybody plays their part the right way, right? If everybody treats everybody the right way. But there are a lot of like crazy stuff that we experience, and a lot of like lifelong like lifelong things that happen, or things that happen that would have lifelong impacts. Yeah. A
lot of trauma.
So it's like it's like, as much as I really enjoyed those times, I feel like there also are things that we should talk about that like really like could change people. And like luckily some stuff we went through isn't as crazy as others, right? Some people went through a lot worse, but it's good. There's always pros and cons of everything. And yeah, there's a lot we could talk about that. Like what majors to pick, experiences, like how we didn't even really establish our majors until like junior year, right? Like, and we still was able to finish. So it's like on time too. So it's like, there's a lot to talk about. But we're going to do that in like July.
For sure.
Should be like July. Yeah, I forgot some people go to school like early August. So we could definitely do it like early July. That'd be a good episode.
Anything else?
But yeah, that's it, right?
That's it. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the A Couple of Things podcast, where we talked about a couple of things, and we will see y'all same time, same place
next week. It's almost April. Tomorrow's April 1st.
Next week. Yes, sir. Goodbye.